Alexis lays into Rick after his unwelcome visit, and Rocco overhears the last thing Drew wants him to. Monday, November 18, 2024. Today on General Hospital, Alexis, Molly, and Christina get ready for the funeral. Drew tries to keep the kids in the dark about Jason's beating, and Lucas insists on blaming himself. And he's not alone. Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. On today's General Hospital, Maxie is talking to Sam's photo at her funeral prep, lamenting that she isn't getting all the flower arrangements right. She then reminisces about her friend just as Lucas walks in and says his sister would approve of the yellow flowers. He's acting morose, though, and Maxie demands to know what's wrong with him. He doesn't think today would have happened if he hadn't been Sam's surgeon. He should have known better. He did know better. He's determined to take the blame for it. The only thing he can think of after going over it all is that he made a mistake. He just can't figure out what it was. Maxie tries reassuring him that sometimes bad things just happen. Plus, he's just taking the easy way out of this by blaming himself. Sam didn't make decisions out of sentiment, and she was never wrong. Lucas still insists it was on him. Believe in Sam. She trusted you, so trust her. Taylor shows up at Trina and Jocelyn's only to have the door closed in his face by Trina. She yells at Joss for answering the door, only for her roomie to talk her into giving Kai a chance, especially since she does that for Ava. Jocelyn heads out to get ready for Sam's funeral, telling Taylor that he owes her as she leaves. Inside, he wants to state his case for Trina to give him another chance. He stammers out some apologies and explanations, and says he knows art history isn't easy, but he wants to learn about it, and he's willing to pull his weight. If someone walked into the art gallery and wanted to learn, would she just turn him away? She'd talk to him, but that's a conversation, not something mandatory for class. He starts by going through the syllabus, saying he's got a good memory and can be taught. Aiden picks his mom up at the hospital. She wants to talk to him about Lucky. They sit down, and she tells him that there's a possibility that he's leaving again. I know, Mom. I kind of expected it. If Lucky goes back to Africa, that's just what he does. The good thing is he's alive and trying to do some good. Elizabeth marvels at how kind and understanding their son is. Lucky's reading the news at Bobby's when Brennan walks in behind him and introduces himself as the man who saved your life. He explains how he assisted in Lucky's extraction with the WSB. They trade some tense pleasantries, and Lucky says he has until he finishes his coffee for Brennan to tell him what he wants. Jack admits he's been impressed by Lucky's work, and he's got a job for him in the same region. He needs someone grabbing intel, and he'd be handsomely rewarded. Lucky says he's not in it with the money, and working with the WSB always comes with strings. Part of the job will be helping refugees and Lucky, and the WSB will be aligned in what they want to do. If he wants the job, he can get on a flight in the next 24 hours. Liz walks in and locks eyes with Lucky. Drew's getting ready for the funeral at the mansion when the kids walk in and Scout wants to know what happened to his face. Drew assures them all he's fine, just embarrassed. He walked into a door. He promises Scout he's okay. She's worried he'll break his promise to always be with him like Mommy did. He reassures her that Mommy loved her, then asks about the flowers she picked from Leela's garden for her mom. Nina shows up and asks if Drew's okay, then promises she'll try to make his bruises look better. Unfortunately, it was too late for the kids to see. Nina learns Drew isn't pressing charges, determined not to take Jason away from his kids. She's upset, especially since Jason overreacted about a kiss. Unless there's something else Drew's not telling. Nope, nothing, he tells her. And he'd rather get through the day than press charges. Danny needs him, and Nina needs to drop it. Sam literally asked the brothers to put the kids ahead of everything else. He won't let her down. Danny and Rocco come back downstairs, neither of them believing Drew's story. All that matters today, though, is taking care of Scout. Danny heads to the funeral to take Scout's flowers and drawing and lay them on the casket. And Rocco promises that no matter what, they're brothers. In the kitchen, Dante is going through photos of the family and Sam, and isn't having it when Cody tries to cheer him up and say he has a lovely family. The bond is still there, even without Sam. Cody says how he was in awe of Dante and Sam when he got to town, and still is. Dante's not sure if he's ever going to feel anything but grief. Cody assures him he won't always feel like this. He just has to give himself and the kids time. Eventually, it'll be about remembering the good times. He talks about the time Sam lost it on the softball ump, and Olivia comes in to back him up. Dante smiles a bit recalling and finishes the story with Olivia. But then Cody says something about Sam always getting out of tough spots, and Dante drops again. He leaves to check on the kids, and Olivia assures Cody he didn't do anything wrong. Dante's going to need him. Cody promises to do everything he can. As Alexis struggles to get a bracelet on, Christina and Molly walk in, only for their mom to tell them she doesn't think she can get through the day. Molly goes to fix the bracelet as Alexis tells Christina that it's the last gift Sam gave her, and she has to wear it today. Molly comes back as Christina says it feels like just yesterday they were burying Adela. Molly gives her mom the fixed bracelet, then awkwardly tells them she needs to get some air. Outside, Rick's waiting for her and they hug. He gives her a belated birthday gift, tickets to 12 Angry Men. She says they'll go together. Shortly after hugging, TJ shows up. Inside, Christina says she didn't mean for Molly to hear her. They've been doing so well lately, and Alexis laments that she forgot her daughter's birthday. Then she spots Rick outside and gets even more upset. She rushes out to apologize to Molly for forgetting her birthday. Thanks TJ for being there, and when Molly and TJ go inside to call the minister, yells at her ex. He needles her that Molly is the lowest of her priorities, and Alexis tells him to get the hell off her property. Rick leaves with a few more stinging words. Inside, TJ apologizes for forgetting Molly's birthday, then tells her he'll do everything and anything he can to help her. Just you being here is all I need today, she says. Christina comes over, and before she can say anything, the sisters hug. In the show's final moments, Taylor promises he doesn't quit ever. He asks her to come to a game to see that. Maybe she just has to give football a chance. Brennan says to call when he makes a decision, and leaves Lucky to talk to Liz. He tells her Jack offered a job in Africa. So that's it. You're just going to leave again. Lucky just looks at her. Nina finishes up, and Drew looks a lot better. But Rocco overhears her say that Jason is the one who attacked him. Alexis comes in and sees her daughters hugging, then tells them it's time and joins in. Dandy's back in the kitchen and Cody tells him the last photo he chose for the book is perfect. Dandy slips it inside with a sigh. Over at the church, Lucas calls Danny's name as Sam's son puts the picture and flowers on the grave. Danny swings around, yells at him, and tells him to leave. You're the one that let my mother die.